the Gentleman's Club. This week, I don't know if I told you or not, but I've decided to become an antelope. I know that sounds funny, but I was watching this show called American Scientific Frontiers on PBS, and it was hosted by Alan Alda, and the show dealt with, the name of the show was Worried Sick, and it dealt with how stress on our bodies can actually impact our immune system. In the beginning of the show, Alan Alda is talking to this guy who has lived and worked with gorillas and monkeys for the past 30 years, and it was kind of obvious if you looked at what he had on, but enough about fashion, okay? So he's talking about how antelopes out on the African safari think in like 30-second increments. You know, they're not always sitting there worried about, okay, I'm going to eat this grass, but where's the lion? Okay, and now I'm going to run over here and be a little adolescent and play with other little adolescent antelopes, but where's the lion? Is something going to eat me now? What about now? Now? What about now? How about now? I'm going to eat this piece of grass. Now? Now? Is there a lion now? They're not worrying about that. They're thinking in 30-second increments, you know, like, okay, I'm going to eat this piece of grass. This is grass, and I'm chewing on it, and it's really good, and I'm eating this grass, and because that's what my body says I want to do. Now I'm mating because that's what my body says it wants to do. Oh my gosh, there's a lion, I'm going to run. And when the antelope runs, its body shuts down everything else that's not required, you know, so digestion and sexual drive and all those things are shut down, and all it focuses on is getting away from the lion. But guess what happens after the lion goes away? So does the thought about being eaten. It doesn't think about it anymore. It goes back to doing what it was before. Eating, mating, crapping, or whatever it is that antelopes do in 30-second increments. It doesn't worry about when the next lion is going to come. Monkeys, on the other hand, have shown that if they're having to worry about the pecking order or worrying about where they're going to get food or things like that, that monkeys actually can harbor a lot of stress, and some monkeys have even a higher rate of heart disease than others. The alpha monkey will actually show more blockage in his arteries and more crap built up in his arteries than some of the more subordinate monkeys do. So I got to thinking about this. You know, the monkeys are always sitting there worrying about who's going to be bigger or who's going to be better or who's greater, blah, blah, blah. You know, but the antelopes, all the antelopes worry about is doing what is necessary right in front of them. And how does that apply to you? Being like an antelope means that you can actually sit there and worry about what is right in front of you right then. It's not thinking about what am I going to do tomorrow, and what about my mortgage? If my mortgage doesn't get paid, I'm going to lose my house, and what about the rehab, and what about closing, and what about, you know, my lack of customers or buyers or sellers or whatever it is that you do. It's not being that monkey and constantly worrying about what happens next. Sometimes you just got to be an antelope and focus on what's in front of you right then and there. So I've decided I'm going to be an antelope. I'm going to start focusing on what's right in front of me. You guys know, if you've been around me for any smell of time, that I'm a big fan of to-be-done lists. That I don't want something that I'm going to do. I need something that is going to be done. You know, I schedule my days so that I can be done with my day at lunch and go spend the afternoon in the gym or at the park with my kids or doing whatever it is that Rachel wants to do. If that means getting up a little bit earlier in the morning, yeah, did it suck at first? Of course, but it's what needed to be done. And focusing on the individual tasks that you've assigned yourself for the day is the thing that's going to be the most important aspect of your business. Being able to focus on what's going on right now, right in front of you, get it done, and then move on to the next thing. It's not getting overwhelmed looking at, oh my God, I've got like a 14-page to-do list, and if I don't get it all done in a day, I'm going to feel bad or whatever. You know, it's focusing on that one thing, getting it the hell done, and then moving on to the next. So for the next week, I want you to focus on being that antelope. I want you to really focus on not when the lion's going to come, but what's in front of you right then. What do you need to get done right now? As a matter of fact, I'm going to narrow the gap just a little bit more. I want you to focus on one customer, one seller, one buyer, one guy. For the next week, one guy. That's what you need. Whether it's one customer to buy your widget, whether it's one seller to contact you to sell you their house, whether it's one buyer to offload a deal, whatever it is that you do, one guy. How are you going to get him? Where's he going to come from? What does he look like? How much does he spend? You know, these are the things that I need you to concentrate on. Don't let the week come to an end without finding that one dude. Don't worry about the lion, because he's not going to bother you right now. You're focused on the one thing. Be the antelope. Focus on finding that one seller and seeing how your week truly pans out. I guarantee you, when you focus on success, when you focus on the things that you want to attract most, that's where the money's going to come from. Guys, if you like what I talked about today and you want to see and hear more, you gotta go check out the Gentleman's Club. Sounds like porn, but it's not. It's actual business advice. As a matter of fact, if you don't like the name and you think you got one better, leave a comment for me and let me know. I'm always open to ideas. You can log on by going to bigcheesemarketing.com and clicking on Join the Gentleman's Club. Or you can always leave me a comment below either way. You know I look forward to hearing from you, and I'm always listening.